Good evening again. And if you caught my last video, you'll know it was about the twin flame telepathy that can happen, during a twin flame connection. My guides have been coming in pretty strong all morning, all day, even now. Hence why I'm back on. And yeah, they just want. There was making me aware. There was sending me a message, is what I'm saying. So on a twin flame journey, you're very much guarded. You're guarded from, the off, basically. You do receive telepathy, but you don't just receive telepathy from your twin or your twin's higher self. You receive the messages off your guards, off your spirit guards, off your angels, high masters, in music. And I am at my most creative when I am listening to music. That's when I do my best work. Very, very creative. I'm candle maker, so create candles with beautiful crystals in them for healing and Reiki. And yeah, I can just get lost in music, like many of us. Music has. How many times have you been in a shop or I don't know, around the supermarket, and you hear a song, a particular song, and it resonates with what you're going through at that time. Say like you've needed an answer to something, a song's just popped up, randomly popped up. How many times? I bet I could, place a bet on it many, many, many times. Every one of us, can resonate with the emotions, and music, it brings up emotions in us, doesn't it? It can touch the heart, and twin flames, they're connected, heart chakra. So it's not surprising that when you're in a twin flame connection, there's that music telepathy, because music, it's vibration, it's resonance, it's frequency, it's emotional, it's beautiful, it's there's messages in music, it's spiritual, very, very spiritual. You just have to look world over how many singers get their messages across, in music to people. It just resonates with us on a deep, deep soul, level. But yeah, the song coming through is Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Now, I've had this song many, many times on my path, and I understand why. And again, if Spirit wants to get a message to you, and they want you to get a message out to others, they will keep on bugging you until you, not bugging, telling me we don't bug you. Not bugging, but until you align, should I say. Yeah, that's better than telling me. We're talking today. Very, very talkative. Yeah, until you align with your soul path, they'll keep coming through to you. They're there guarding you every step of the way. You just you can call them in. I don't have to call my name. Mine are constantly by my side, chirping in my ear. I'm gonna get told off again. But yeah, like, they want you on your path, is what I'm saying. So the twin flames, we have a very, very important mission, what we're here to do. I've always known this from 7 years ago to now. I can't be dissuaded by anybody telling me what my path is. It's 100% concreted through the experience I've experienced, you know, like music, telepathy, dreams, vivid dreams. What else do we got on this path? We get all sorts on this path. We get everything thrown at us on this path. Signs, synchronicities, angel numbers. They're all universe signs, you know, leading us. They're aligning us onto our path. That's what's our guards are here to align us onto our soul purpose path. And you know, the twin flames, they have the hardest soul purpose. You know, they're often called the chosen ones, the 144. That's because we hold the codes of 144. You know, and we have those codes inside us. You know, the healing codes. But yeah, I didn't want to come on today, but they made me like, they're not happy with me. But yeah, I'll be very, very busy, you know, doing my winter work, my candles, getting ready for the Christmas markets. Again, on a twin flame path, it never sleeps, you know, and sometimes you never sleep as well because they don't let you. These downloads can come in one after the other. They can, if they want you on your path. That's basically what they're saying. They want us aligned with our soul purpose because we have a very, very important job to do for planet Earth. As you know, out there as that sounds to many, and I can understand that, but after 7 years on my path, I understand this path completely. There's no way you can escape the signs, the synchronicities. I've tried going on holiday, but they just follow me. And even on holiday, I can't fully relax into my holiday because they send me to certain destinations to do my twin flame mission there. You know, the healing there. Could be Mauritius, Maldives. Yeah, and I know when it's coming as well because I get the downloads, so I'm aware of it. So I know when I go on holiday, I'm not going to get no peace. But yeah, it's a constant, you know, this path. It's so out of this world, completely out of this world. And when it first started up for me, you know, I was a complete novice to it. You know, I knew I was heading into something major, life transforming, and I knew I had many years of transforming myself and healing myself, and I also knew it was taking me to some pretty dark places at certain points to do that healing, because you know, when you go into your deep healing, you do go into these dark places. But I also knew it was yeah, a beautiful path. You know, it was leading me to my true self, really, my divine self, my sovereignty. Yeah, the person I was 7 years ago, I'm nothing like that person, because I had a complete total a death and a rebirth. You know, that phoenix rising from the ashes. I went into that fire, the alchemy, they call it. It's alchemical marriage. And the alchemy is, you know, it's balancing your masculine and your feminine energies out in you. Then that's where you find the total harmony. You come into total harmony with yourself. You know, then that's what, you know, if you're in separation from your twin flame as well, coming into total harmony and concentrating on your divine path, and you know, sharing these divine gifts with the world like they're meant to be. They're not meant to be kept to self. You know, I wouldn't know what to do with my gifts if I kept them to myself. Yeah, you do all this transformation, you do all this balancing of the divine feminine, divine masculine. That's, you know, and coming to that balance and that harmony, and that's that alchemy. You know, that's the I think it's the alchemy of the heart that completely transforms us. The alchemy of the heart you know, once you start opening your heart, that is the true Holy Grail, I think. It really does change everything, you know, around you and in this connection. Once you start opening your heart, you let things in, you receive things, you also give out freely. You live in that unconditional love frequency, which twin flames are here. We hold that frequency, that code, that 144. You know, unconditional love. We are here to raise the vibration, you know, of Earth's ascension, the new golden age. We're here to help and guide others and raise the frequency of planet Earth. And it's no easy feat. We go through a lot, you know, and people talk about the chosen ones being well, the chosen one sounds real blessed and godly, and it is, and we are. We hold God. We are God. You know, we have the God in us. One thing this path has taught me is every one of us are divine. We all have that divine light inside us already. We don't have to search outside of ourselves. You know, like Jesus once said, the kingdom of God is inside of you. And it really, really is. And I work with, I don't work with Mary Magdalene. She channels through me because I'm on the rose path. Hence why I've got plants of roses around my house. And this knowing came to me a few years ago, just in meditation, in Reiki sessions. I kept getting the rose. That's other sounds you'll get from spirit. Words might just pop up in your head, and I just kept getting the rose. And I'm going, well, what about the rose? You know, I didn't piece it together then, but yeah. I should have done really, but I was still a bit blocked, let's say. I still had some healing of my heart to do. But yeah, the rose, and that's the rose lineage path, the Mary Magdalene path. And it's the divine feminine high masters. They come through to me a lot, and they're saying, let's get a card. So Mary Magdalene. I knew this was not going to be a quick reading about. They tricked me. The spirit guides tricked me, because I was like, I've just done a short one, but no. They've tricked me to get me on here, but they've just told me it's your job, Ellie. Oh dear me. Now, you know, if I'd not been on this path for 7 years and I wasn't used to all the telepathy, the signs, the synchronicities, the angel numbers, the universal signs, if I wasn't used to all of that, I would think that I'd been too long in my candle room today, because yeah, they're very, 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 very chatty. You know, but no, I'm used to this. I'm used to this path now. You get used to it. At first, it's quite strange, very, very strange. But yeah, you can't escape the sounds. You can't escape the synchronicities. You can't escape the music telepathy. You just can't. It you know, there comes a time where it gets cemented, you know, in you, and there's a turning point on your journey when you've done enough healing and the opening up of the heart chakra. You just fully come into your whole self then. But what was I saying? Yeah, so spirit wants to get through. They'll get through in music. They'll get through, you know, music is, it's frequency, it's vibration, it's high vibration. It's light also. They're saying it's light. It is light. It brings light into other people's lives as well, does music. How many times have you heard a song and you've just wanted to dance and you're uplifted? That's because it's frequency, it's vibration. You know, it resonates with our soul. yeah, but they'll get what I'm saying is, this is why I'm online now, is that they want me online. They want me getting this message out to people. They want, you know, this is what Twin Flames are here for. I've always likened myself to a puppet on a string, because in the beginning stage, they're telling me off again. In the beginning stage, because I wasn't aware, I wasn't open, you know, I wasn't as open as I am now. I wasn't sure on all these signs. I thought I was losing my mind at certain points, because I thought, it was all new to me, is what I'm saying. But somewhere in my soul, I knew that it was all real, you know, out of this world, yes. 5D, yes. Supernatural, yes. It's all of that. So yeah, I had to, I had to do the healing, and yeah, the more I did the healing, the more my spiritual gifts came back to me. But yeah, spirit wants to get through. They'll keep getting through. My first few years, don't want me to talk about this as well, because if you're experiencing ringing in your ears, my twin flame path, I can't speak for anybody else out there. So if you do get ringing in your ears, then, and you're not sure about, you know, what it is, yeah, see your doctor. But I knew personally, mine was my frequency raising, my vibration, and I got constant ringing in my ears. Sometimes all day it would be just this constant frequency going off in my ears, and then sometimes on and off, you know, throughout the day. Not one day, I remember it was 24 hours, and I just felt like I was going crazy with this ringing in my ears. But I knew as well it was my guards, you know, trying to align me on my spiritual path. And when I started to really align on my spiritual path and really believe what was happening was true, and not question things, the ringing stopped. I don't get any now. I might get the odd, like, you know, every if my guards want to get something across, my angels and that, I might get like the odd buzz in my ear, but nothing compared to the first few years of my twin flame awakening. That was another level. So yeah, there's signs as well that, you know, the spirit's talking to us. They're getting the messages across. They'll find ways to get these messages across, just like they've found a way tonight for me to get this message across to you. But yeah, I'm used to it now. Been 7 years on this path, and yeah, this portal we're in, this 1111 portal. This is the ending of my 7-year cycle from my awakening to now, when this is the new beginnings that are coming in for me. I feel like I'm in the energy of 2026 already. I feel like a big abundance timeline is coming up for me. It is here for me. I feel like major shift, and I've been seeing the 1111s for a few years, and again, seeing 1111, that was spirit aligning me on my path. That was spirit sending me messages that I could not ignore. So yeah, that's still, if they want to get messages across to us, they will stop at nothing. They're relentless, even at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, at silly times. Usually 3 to 4 in the morning. I was getting that for, yeah, on and off many years, and I understand why. Also, they want me to talk about this. It's because the veils are thinner at that time, so you're quieter too. Your mind is quieter. Your human mind is quieter. So what they can do is they can pierce through more easily. They don't have to cut through all that noise, you know, that that noise that we have going on during the day, from, you know, our normal lives. Yes, I think they're going to tell me off again. But yeah, our normal life, you know, because we do have normal lives to get on with, and to, you know, we have to function in our daily lives, as well as be all up in the spiritual, you know. And many years I was all up in the spiritual, trying to figure this path out. But yeah, you can't sustain that. You can't be all in spiritual. We're on planet Earth at the end of the day, and yes, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but we are in a human body, so we have to be here. We have to be present in our, you know, in our human self. We can't just be all spiritual. You know, my family and friends thought I'd left the, you know, I'd left this planet. But although I was still here in the physical, I wasn't here. You know, I wasn't here really for many years. But yeah, I started grounding. Grounding is so important. And yeah, and that balance came. That balance came after many years of hard work. That balance came because, you know, this is what this path is about. It's about finding that balance between your feminine, divine feminine energy, and your divine masculine energy. So, you know, when you find that balance of those two energies, that's when you come in perfect harmony. And yeah, how I know, should I say, how I know I've balanced my two energies out completely in balance with each other is I'm talking about my path now. I'm very vocal, they're saying tonight. Sorry. I've got very vocal because I've worked on myself, and yeah, very many years hard work that you can't explain to others on this path unless you're on it. Unless you're truly a twin flame, you can't explain to family, friends, you can't explain to outsiders unless they are one. The only ones that understand this path is the twin flames. You know, it's a sacred path, very unconventional path. Yeah, you know, it's a high purpose, it's a soul purpose path. It's all of that. I will come online one day and I will openly talk about, you know, my experiences on my twin path. They're saying I already do. They're very chatty tonight, today even. Yeah, but that's another thing as well. This 1111 portal, the veils are thinner. So if you're you know, you're on this path, not even a twin flame, you know, light worker, light seed, open to spirit, then the downloads possibly could be coming in a bit more, and you'll hear them more clearer. You know, it's more direct line is what we're saying. But yeah, this card came out, and it's thou that walk the path of love, walk their path as the Christed essence of divine feminine and masculine in pure harmonic balance. And this is I'll just turn this light down a bit, it's glaring. This is the Mary Magdalene Oracles cards. Don't know if that's a bit better. Woo! Looks like it's got a halo around it. No, we'll leave it like that. It is Miss Godly anyway. But yeah, this is so true. You know, you walk your path, you know, in all of your divine feminine energy and all of your divine masculine energy, and you are balanced. You are totally balanced. Although I probably don't sound balanced, I am very, very balanced. I'm the most balanced I've ever been in my entire life. And that's because I've done the work. That's because I've balanced my divine feminine and my masculine, these two very, very powerful energies out that we all hold inside us, you know, and that's the key. That's the total key to balancing, you know, not only yourself out, but also helping and guide others on this path. Once you balance these two energies out in yourself and you've done the work, you know, you've worked up your thorns, you've healed, you've gone through all the you know, you've healed the karma, the wounds, the trauma. Not cut the thorns off, because then they belong to the rose. You know, and this is why I was getting rose through, because, like I say, spirit will get messages to you anywhere they will, you know, and that means waking you up early morning. That means sending you songs. That means sending you numbers, angel numbers. They're going to get this message. And I kept getting the rose for quite a while. And then, yeah, it clicked. And it's been, you know, quite a fast-paced path of channeling, you know, Mary Magdalene and higher divine feminine masters come through to me. Since, well, there was coming through anyway. This is the thing. So there was coming through to me many years, but I just wasn't hearing. Something wasn't connecting with me, you know, completely. My channeling and the sounds that the spirit was sending to me. There was just some sort of disconnect there. It was like a short circuit that was going on. But yeah, once I started to truly balance my divine feminine and my divine masculine out in me, that's when that total balance came in, and, you know, everything started to click into place on this very peculiar, strange, spiritual, beautiful, painful path. It's all of that and then more. And if you're a true Twinflame, you understand completely. Any more? Shall I ask? Let's do a rose. And then I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, they will get messages to us in, yeah, love songs, numbers, angel numbers, even signs from other people. They'll send you people. They'll, you know, conversations. I mean, I've just had little conversations at the bus stop with people, and there's been signs, you know, and once you're open to receiving these signs from spirit, you see them everywhere. You don't make them up, you know. You're 100% concrete sure at this point that let's just say you're 100% concrete sure at this point of your journey. There's no way of not being sure. So let's have a look at the rose. I'm drawn to these two at the bottom of the pack. So we have the breathing rose, and it's heart healing. And what I was just saying was about the heart chakra. That's very connected. That heart to heart chakra. And where does love come from? Well, it comes from the heart. Unconditional love comes from the heart, the sacred heart. you know, the divine heart that we all have inside of us. So we have heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases, and it certainly does. You know, once you go into that heart healing, things start balancing out in your energies. Your emotions start to balance out as well, because it can get very emotional on this path, because yeah, you're connected to, and you know, you're one soul, two bodies, so you can feel the emotions, you can feel, yeah, you can feel the physical, you can feel a lot from your twin flame on this. And time eases, and it certainly does. Time is the healer, you know. It eases a lot, does time, you know. It's that time out you also need from each other to do your own healing, your individual healing, because you can't heal together. It's individual. That's the separation stages. And then, you know, when you're ready and you're whole and you're fully in your divine feminine and your divine masculine, both of you, and you know what one does, the other does, because you're mirror souls. So yeah, that's when union can come. You know, you can reconnect again with twin flame. This stage of my journey, yeah, I am in union with my twin flame, but it, you know, it's very unconventional path, like I was saying. So twin flames, because of how high love and divine and sacred it is, it usually gets put in the context of, you know, romance. Well, my path is not. My path is unconditional love, yes, but it's not romantic, you know. It's not that, you know, but it's very unconventional, yeah, because twin flames are. They're not the normal. But, and then this came out. So do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. Now I sound untamed tonight. the spirits agreeing. They're going, yes, you do. But it's this 1111 portal. It's the energies, very, very powerful. And yeah, the wild rose. And you know, we are wild at heart, you know. We are not meant to be tamed. We are not meant to be suppressed. I'll go back to the divine feminine energy. It's been suppressed for far too long. And my high masters, my divine feminine high masters, Mary Magdalene and others, the time is now. I've been getting in downloads, and I've heard other readers say the time is now, you know. And the time is now. The rise of the divine feminine is here. It's happening. The suppression, the patriarchal, you know, it's crumbling away. Yeah, Mary Magdalene comes through, and other high masters, you know, and the echo, the time is now. That's you know. On every reading I think I've done with divine feminine high masters channeling through, every one of them has echoed the time is now. So yeah, the suppression of the divine feminine energy is no more. And control as well, you know. So it was about control. Why, you know, Mary Magdalene got silenced, and you know, it's all to do with control, patriarchy. Yeah, and it was about getting a bit more deeper now, but they want me to tell you this message, so I will. It was about, yeah, the church's control. It was about the high establishment's control, and it was basically that, you know, we all, every one of us, as Jesus said and knew, the kingdom of God is inside of you. you do not need to search outside of you. So what that's saying is the divine is in us already. We don't need any higher establishments or any churches and, you know, any control, let's say, to tell us that. It's all about control. But yeah, that this is the message. It's very, very powerful teachings that are coming back to us through Mary Magdalene, you know. And Mary Magdalene also walked, I've said this on another video, she walked beside Jesus. She did not walk behind him. She did not walk, you know, yeah, she wasn't suppressed by Jesus. Then there was the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine energy in harmony, in harmonious balance. She never ever walked behind him. She was equal to him, you know. But yeah, it was about control, suppression of the divine feminine's power, because the divine feminine energy is very powerful. Now, it might look all nice and fluffy and light and nurturing and loving, and it is all of that. But it also holds great power. And, you know, they knew that it had to be suppressed. It was suppressed and it was hidden, but it was never forgotten. The teachings was always going to come back. And this new golden age, this is the time where it's returned. Yeah, that's the time is now, they're saying, and it returns through you know, light workers, twin flames. It's returning through our voices. Yeah, she says that I've got a card in here and it says the divine, let me find it, the divine feminine, let's have a look, it's in here somewhere, I can hear it now. Let's have a look. Our truth is that which dwells in our hearts, not in our Oh, it's in here somewhere. The voices, it's something to do with the voices. Let's have a look. This card, what have I been saying? True alchemy is the way of the heart. And it really is. Everything comes from the heart. And this card, you are your own church, for your kingdom is within you. And what have I just said? The kingdom of God is inside of us. You know, these was the powerful teachings that got hidden, but have returned. Not are returning, they have returned. But yeah, you are your own church. You are the divine. You hold that inside you. You always have. Let's see if we can find. Let's have a look. I can't find it. How strange is that? Basically, Mary Magdalene's message was the women, it returns through her. Where's that card? I've got to find it now because it's. Let's have a look. Sorry, my channel is very unconventional. You're probably thinking, I need to go get my tea. Let's have a look. I can't find it. I know why I can't find it, because I've already got it out on my sacred geometry. Here we go. So, my true voice shall be heard through the women of this world once again, for I am and thou art too, Mary Magdalene. Now she's saying what I've just said. Her true voice is being heard through people like me and many, other twin flames that are on, Earth at this time, and light workers, light seeds, wish, the ones that are, they're on the path, the ones that are guiding, not leading, but yeah, guiding, and she's also saying, for I am and thou art too. So to me, it's again, the kingdom of God is inside of you. The divine is already inside of us. And that was powerful teachings that they didn't want us to know. Because then control falls away. If we know these teachings, that we are already divine and everything, we don't have to go to, a high establishments or look outside of ourselves. And in that holds a lot of power, So, yeah, that's why they got silenced, really. So, I think that's it. And it turned out a longer reading than what I thought it did. But, yeah, this is how it works. Spirit tricks me, says it's a short one. And then 40 minutes later, I'm still on. But there's yeah. This is my path and I'm used to it. And, but yeah, the divine's in us. It's always been in us. And once you start opening up and healing yourself and your wounds and your fear, it can fully come out then, in all its balance. And it says here, I'll just read this bit. The tablets contain the teachings of Mary Magdalene. In the divine moment with her husband, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene ignited the 7 gates of heaven for her beloved, and he ignited the same in return. Beautiful cards, these. I absolutely love them because I understand the rose path. So, yeah, that's why they came to me. Don't find anything by chance on this path, Spirit's saying as well. There's no coincidences. What comes to you is meant to come to you. Because Spirit is guiding us every step of the way. Because they need us on this path. We're here for an important mission. And I'm going to leave it there. I shall speak to you all soon.